Glim Spanky are back with the song Glitter Illusion that came out about a month ago, I must admit, from their new album, The Goldmine. And I know we've been busy on this channel, but I absolutely had to talk to you about this song. In fact, this is a group who we haven't spoken about for a while. I mean, it's criminal how long it's been since we last had a video about Glim Spanky on this channel. But like I say, when I heard this song, I knew we had to talk about it. And so that's what we're going to do today. Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where let's cut straight to the chase and just explain really why I think that Glitter Illusion is such an interesting song to talk about first of all. In some ways it brings us the best of Glim Spanky, in some ways not. It depends on really what you're looking for. And really what I'm looking for from this song is a single. That's what it is. It's a single put out there in the world with a music video to promote this new album, The Goldmine. And in that particular step, I think this is really, really strong. Now, it is one of their simpler songs. It's not going anywhere particularly complicated, but I really wanted to touch on that subject because it's simple in a way that reminded me a lot of their the previous song, Apologies. I always forget the Japanese name. I know it translates as basically Fools, that original really big song that everyone fell in love with from Glim Spanky, that just... Yeah, I'll put a little picture of it up here so you can see it. You'll know the one I'm talking about. That particular song really, really hit a lot of people because it was just so simple and direct. And sometimes with a song that's simple and direct, what makes it work is having, yes, that correct, efficient songwriting, but then just having the correct X factor in the delivery and the production and how you present it. And of course, Glim Spanky are one of those groups who they have the quality of Remy being just amongst the most, not only amongst the best soulful singers, with a lot of power, but also a lot of emotion, grit, delicacy, delicacy and intensity in her voice. But they also have Hiroki's guitar playing, which is kind of understated just how much touch and emotion he puts into the music. And so when you've got a simple song, which is mostly just sort of stabs, guitar stabs, like dum dum, you can get plenty of bands who just run that through compression, hit it really hard, gate the sounds at the end so they land perfectly on the beat and have maximum impact. And it would be great, but it wouldn't have that same touch, that same feel. And that's the whole thing about the Glim Spanky sound, is having just in the details, it's not just a loud voice, it's a voice that has a lot of tone, a tonality to it, a feeling to it, a passion to it. And that comes across in Remy's voice, but it also comes across in Hiroki's guitar playing. The bass playing as well. I want to give credit to I'm not so familiar with the bass player and the drummer because they don't show up in the videos. I'm not actually sure if they're even official members of the group because they're just never there. But the bass playing as well was really interesting. There was a lot of funk going on there. There were all kinds of little sounds like the little reverse piano, reverse guitar maybe sound going on there. There was nice little touches of production, there were nice little touches in between, but ultimately the song had to live and die on that top layer, the impact of the guitar, the impact of the vocals, and that is where it absolutely shone and did what, like I say, its forebear did so well, but also it did it in its own way, and it really worked. Now, I am trying to cordon off in my videos these days and do like my, I don't want to say negative bits, but my thoughts of non-positives in their own, just trying not to get hate mail anymore, in their own little segment. And when it comes to this song, I haven't heard the whole album yet. I haven't heard The Goldmine yet. One thing I've been talking about is that on this channel, we're going to try and do more album reviews like we used to. I'm trying to find a format by which I've got enough time to do them in an efficient way where I can really look at albums. I've got an interesting format that I'm hopefully going to start next year. And this is one of the albums I would love to do an album review. So if you'd like me to do that, let me know. But upon hearing this song, like I say, the reason why this works for me is because it's such a great single. It's stuck in your head. When you listen to it, you're just jamming along to it. You're feeling the passion. You're banging your head. It gets stuck in your head. That brilliant, that melody. It's all great. But in its simplicity, it does make me ask, so long as the album contains it nicely. You don't want an album where all the songs sound like this. Now, Glim Spanky, as we all know, musically very, very prolific and interesting. So for me, I think this works great, but I think it works great as a single. I'd be very interested to see how it fits in the album. So this is more of a prospective concern, like something that I'm looking forward to hearing. If you've heard the album already, let me know if you think it sits really well. Don't give me too many spoilers, but let me know how you think it sits in the album. But that's kind of more where I'm intrigued. I want to hear this sitting in amongst songs that are very different so that when it does come round, it has maximum impact. Anyway, this is mostly a perspective section, so let's move a little bit on. I did want to briefly talk about the music video that you can probably see presented here. I mean, the song was so great and everything I pretty much covered, but the music video was one of those music videos where it was functional, but I don't know, I felt it had those sort of slow scenes with the girl walking around, and there's this thing about low contrast walking around in crowded Shibuya-like settings in slow motion, people pondering and walking things. It's popular in a lot of music videos, but it seems to be really popular in Japanese music videos. I don't know, it didn't really feel like it went so well, whereas the video that we were talking about before went really well. It had that intensity. It was very much sort of face view. It was very, it was very sort of direct. This felt a little bit indirect, and the scenes of them sort of stop motion style moving around the bar, it was all a little bit spaced out. It didn't quite have the visceral impact that the song did. I felt this song was really sort of in your face. It was emotional. It was intense, and the video felt a little bit chilled, relaxed. It's all okay. So, that for me was perhaps, I felt like the song perhaps needed a different video, but it was serviceable. It's just, I wouldn't go back to the video as much as I'd go back to the song. The song I would definitely go back to. So in conclusion, this is how I want to hear Glim Spanky do a single. It sounds brilliant. I've been listening to it a lot over the last month. It is just a really cool song. I do need to sit down and listen to the album. I'm excited to listen to the album. Tell me if you want me to do an album review of it. I definitely will put that on my list and try and work out this album review format if I do. But this is one of those songs, it works really great as a single. I'm interested because you wouldn't want to have 10 songs in a row like this, but as a one-off, or as maybe one of a couple of like bangers on an album, yes, 100%, I'm all for it. So I'm really interested to see what Glim Spanky are doing around this in this particular little output unit of songs. But yeah, I just thought as a single, this was really great. Really what I want to hear from Glim Spanky. Video didn't quite give as much impact as the song, but the song was definitely one where if you hear this coming on a car radio, if you hear this on any radio, if this just comes on your radio, on your musical circulation, I'd be surprised if it doesn't stick with you. And I think whereas a lot of songs of similar simplicity would perhaps get tiresome, this one will stick with you because it manages to carry it off with a real quality, a real tangible musicality to it. You can feel the passion of the musicians, of the singers coming through. I guess one thing I'd say is that if you gave this song to almost any other band to play, it probably would be less than half the song. It's one of those songs where it needed to be Glim Spanky. It needed to be Glim Spanky to do this song. And they wrote it for themselves, I think, knowing that this is the kind of song that they can nail. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Get in the comments, tell me what you think. As I say, a few comments on the album. Maybe don't spoil it too much because I'm looking forward to the excitement. Tell me if you want to get a review of it all. Tell me what you thought of this song. Tell me what you think of it as a single. All of that stuff. And until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.